Welcome to the Business Spotlight. My name is Jada Walker. I am your host for today's conversation, and my guest today is Steven Lucero, the CEO and founder of ZB8 Infra. We'll be talking about his business, journey to business ownership, challenges, best practices, and share a peek of what it's really like to build and operate a business. So, Stephen, welcome to the show and thank you for being here today. I would love for you to give us a little bit of your background of who you are and tell us a bit about your business as well.
Well, of course. Thank you and good morning. Thanks for having me. Again, Steven Lucero. Background, I am one of those serial entrepreneurs. So I started my first company right out of high school. So this is my 14th startup.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
I've so no college degree. The majority of those companies were started outside the US. I lived in Mexico for I'm sorry, 15 years, Argentina 2 years, London 4 years. And each place I lived in, I started something.
That
And
is
of
so
course,
cool.
the vast majority of those startups, never either got off the ground or failed. Had
Yeah.
had three exits. And so now I'm on my last one, kind of my last one, ZB8 Infra. And what ZB8 Infra is specifically, the name stands for Zbit Figure Eight Infrastructure. So we're in the digital infrastructure world. Um, we are building a new national fiber backbone in the US, coast to coast, border to border, and we will deploy obviously fiber optic telecommunications, data transfer. We'll be building essentially data centers, edge centers throughout the country. And
Wow.
we're doing it as a wholesale carrier. So we won't be a carrier. We're not going to compete against the AT&Ts or Verizons and some of the newcomers, but we will sell to them or partner with them.
Oh, cool.
The
Wow, that's cool.
and the real one of our real focus is more about impact.
Hmm.
And so how do we build the first new network built in the US nationwide in 30 years that can help with the digital divide, right? Um, and even though there's been an extensive billions of dollars already um, deployed for last mile, fiber to the home or service to the home, there's not enough middle mile networks. And without a long haul transport network, you never will actually bridge that divide because the biggest cost to internet access and internet consumption is access. It's getting to an IXP, getting to the internet, and that requires new infrastructure. And there's some other companies trying to do that now, new IXP companies. So we're part of that kind of group of newcomers to get that done.
Wow, that's amazing. That's like I've never met someone that's been so into tech like that. Like, of course, like we're stationed here in Austin, so like it's very much tech here. But like I've never actually gotten to talk to someone that's been so into tech and like talk about like the infrastructure and stuff about internet. So like that's really cool. Um, so to set the stage for our viewers, generally speaking, what does your current ownership structure look like? You're of course like the CEO, um, the founder. Do you have any type of outside investors?
Well, the structure is actually even more interesting. So I actually have three other co-founders,
Okay.
right? Um, and so it's very much a team effort. Um, we we had our initial seed round um, 3 years ago,
Okay.
and we are currently raising. So with infrastructure, a lot of startups, actually, pretty much 99% of all startups, especially tech startups, raise equity. We'll continue to do that, but because of the size of the capital expenditures we have, that's just not
Mm.
fathomable. So the majority of our investments is debt. Um, could be pref. Uh, we try to negotiate that away. We have our current commitment for our launch in Virginia, where we're going to start construction in a few months. And it's a couple hundred million, and it's a long-term debt facility. So, um, I hope that answers the question, but essentially we have, four co-founders. We have great network partners, very large, some of the largest companies in the world in the space to help design, build, provide software, provide, those kinds of services. Um, and it was by design. So this wasn't, we knew going into this as a team, we needed those kind of partners. You can't
Yeah,
do
'cause
set.
I was just gonna ask, like, how did you decide like who to go into business with since you have like three other people that you are co-founding with?
Oh, in terms of the co-founders, well, one of the tenants used to be a tenant, I guess, of startup uh, is you want to, if you're going to do a co-founder or what you call a partnership, it's with someone you know and trust, right?
Hmm.
Because this is hard, and it's going to be times when you're not happy, you're pissed off,
Right.
you're really dejected. You've got to be able to lean on each other to get past those times, but then maximize the good times, right? Um,
Yeah.
and so my co-founders include my sister, who's actually the smartest person on the team. Um, and then two other gentlemen that I've known for decades. CFO and our chief development officer, who also has been in the internet and tech space, as has my sister. She's done several startups, all in tech. She's an MD, but so we're very, very close team.
Yeah, I like how your sister is in it with you. Me and my brother were really close. Like I wish that we could start a business together, but I honestly think that we would butt heads too much. So it wouldn't work out for us. But I like how you and your sister can make that work.
We do, and it's
Yeah,
fun.
that's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about the role that you currently play. Like, what is your day-to-day type of work that you do?
Well, so CEO, it's really just leadership. We have additional team players now, not co-founders, but so everyone we add to the team, the core team, gets stock options. We know we're very committed to that kind of structure. And so it was it's leadership. A lot of it's connecting with the right players in the industry because that's where I come from. Um, and really, it's either problem solving or maximizing solutions. Not because I do it, that's not my responsibility, but I help. I mean, I view my role and responsibility as making everyone else succeed, and helping
Hmm.
them not just not fail, but you know, lessening any kind of problematic issues that they have. That's
Yeah.
on me.
Okay.
And traditionally, and this is true of every business, the CEO, like we have sales force, kind of we have those people, but CEO is the biggest salesman in the company. I mean, that's the
Yeah.
customers want to meet the CEO. It's what helps close deals or gets the doors open. So I talk a lot with our customers, and then of course our
Yeah,
investors. But
because it's really nice to know who the CEO is, like to know the face and like know the type of person that you are. Because then like you're more trusting, and I want to come to you like to the company more because it's like I trust the CEO. Like he literally built the company. Like why would I not trust the rest of the company? I mean, hopefully, you know.
I think typically that's a little antiquated these days. I think a CEO, if there's a team, the CEO is not building the company. The CEO may have been the visionary, may have been the
Mm.
strategy, may have been that first start, but typically the CEO is not going to have the capability or the yeah. I mean, I don't want to denigrate the role of a CEO, but they
No,
te
you're okay. I've never
they
even thought of it like that.
they tend not to be the smartest in the room, and you don't want that. They're the ones who have no fear. They'll jump off the cliff. They'll do whatever it takes for the team, for the company, for the customers. Um, but a good CEO picks people much smarter than he, either as partners or as part of the company.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I didn't even think of it like that. That makes a lot more sense. Yeah. Okay. So been wow. Can't speak today. It's definitely Monday.
No worries.
Many business owners, especially those that are newer to entrepreneurship, they feel as though they don't have enough time. So I'm curious, based on your experience, if I were to give you an extra 10 hours a day, how would you invest those hours?
Um, well, I wouldn't because that's not logical, right? So, but investment in time and resources ultimately comes down to what's your strategy. You can't just
Mm-hmm.
be given time and money with and because you won't know what you're doing with it. You'll waste it. You'll waste the time, you'll waste the money. So what's the strategy? And if that strategy has been corroborated, get corroboration, then what's the plan? And if you have the plan, what's the execution? And typically execution is
Mm-hmm.
not done by any one person. It's done by a team or multiple teams. So
Yeah.
again, if someone were to give me 10 hours, an extra 10 hours a day, which is not feasible, but in theory, I'd share those hours with the rest of my team. But only because there's a strategic plan that has been vetted, determined, decided upon, so we know how to spend that resource. Time is a resource, just like money, right? You can't,
Yeah.
you shouldn't waste it. Doesn't mean you're
No,
going to
not at all.
fail at certain things, but you have to have a strategic plan, and it should be written and very well communicated.
Mhm. I like that. Okay, so before we get into the nitty gritty of the business itself, let's look into your background a little bit and what led you here. So, why did you choose to go into business for yourself as opposed to choosing to work for someone else?
Um, that's a great question. So out of high school, I knew I didn't want to go to. I was going to take a break, 2 year break.
Mm,
I went to private boarding school. That was hard enough. It
yeah,
was great. Um, so I knew I wanted to take a break, and I think I would always recommend kids do that, even if it's a gap
I
year.
wish I would have. I really wish I would have. I went straight into college and it was terrible.
Um, it can be hard, and so I did that, so I went back to where I was born. Um, I essentially grew up in the Boston area. Um,
Oh, nice.
but I was born in Albuquerque. I'm Hispanic, Mexican American, etc. But and turns out um my mother had been thinking about doing her own business,
Mm-hmm.
and she ended up on her own a little bit, and mostly rather, writing a business plan and getting she got the traction of a venture capital, a VC. And so I joined that effort, and I was like, okay, I like this. That company was a manufacturing company, nothing related to tech per se.
Mm-hmm.
Became an Inc. 500 company. It grew and scaled.
Oh, cool.
So it was my mother's entrepreneurial kind of success that kind of got me
It's like she kind of inspired you.
and taught me.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it was lessons learned, and I was hooked. So once that company exited, I was like, okay, what's next? And it's been that way ever since. Once you get a taste, you tend to stay there. And I think you see that in certain, especially in tech, you see that in the Silicon Valleys, in Austin, which is a growing area for this, here in Boston. Um, the startup mentality is is a career. It can be.
Yeah. So, as you look back on your journey so far, what has been the most memorable roadblock or hurdle that you were challenged with and you were forced to overcome?
Um, there's one constant in all of that, and throughout the years, it's fundraising. Raising capital is always a slog. It's never easy. Nor should it be. But once you know how to do it, it gets better. It's just not. It depends on what you're doing and the type of investor you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
That's one. Because of I've always been in telecommunications, the regulatory aspect, or not, I shouldn't say in telecom, in tech, but mostly telecom. And so dealing with like other governments, like when I had to deal with the federal governments of Mexico,
Mm,
Argentina, England, those are all challenges. Different laws, different cultures. Um, so that was unique.
I was gonna say because I didn't even realize you had to go through like government to do like what you're doing. what you're talking about. Like I
Well,
wouldn't have thought that you would
telecommunication,
have to.
yeah, telecom is a controlled, it's controlled, right? So
Oh, see, I don't know all that. So I'm guessing
yeah,
I'm like, I guess that's a question I should have asked. Like,
it's not, I'm sorry, it's a regulated. It can't, it's regulated. But yeah,
oh,
it's
okay,
getting
okay.
less, unlike the internet, which is semi-regulated. There's
Mm-hmm.
just laws you have to, to comply with. But pure telecom, yeah. So the
Okay.
government relations has always been it's not no longer. I've been doing it for 20 years. So, but that over time has been one of the big ones.
Yeah. So what impact did this have on your growth as a business owner?
Uh,
Like
what?
having to like basically like having to go through those type of
Oh,
things to sorry,
yeah.
I was
No. That's no, that's great. So this is one of the key elements of any successful startup entrepreneur: problem solution. You have
mm,
to learn how to solve problems. In order to solve problems, you have to understand, you should be able to predict what those solutions are. And your audience, I'm sure, already understands, the problem solution. You build the deck, you identify the problem, here's a solution that's more product faced. But once you have the company, once you got funded, that mindset will always remain. You'll always have problems. You have to think about what the problems are going to be and think ahead of
mm-hmm,
what the solution could be. But if a problem
mm-hmm,
hits, especially when this is kind of an ongoing thing, and maybe after it's ongoing, it's no longer a problem, but it's just a challenge, or it's just part of the character of that industry or sector you're in. You
mm-hmm.
have to always have solutions. But then internally, company structure, culture, right? Um, if the company scales, that's a whole set of new challenges. What's the solution? So it's a problem solution equation that's always uh, top of mind.
Yeah. Okay. So let's move on to what makes your business so special. So who primarily does your business serve? And if I were in the audience, how would I know that I'm a good fit for your service?
So we're not a consumer facing business, and never
Mm-hmm.
will be. We're B2B, meaning we're
What does
building.
that mean? Okay, you're sorry, you're about to explain. I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay. So we're building this new fiber optic backbone in the country, and we will sell dark fiber, we'll sell connectivity services, we'll sell data center locations, or data center co-location space, and other new tech, edge computing, all the new stuff you hear. Now we're pivoting to AI. Everything will be AI enabled. But we sell to the Verizons, or your local cable company, or
Okay.
ISP as a wholesaler. And um, and that includes enterprise. We won't sell directly to a business, because those companies will. Um,
Okay.
so in a sense, the user of whatever service is sold isn't provided by us. It's provided by our commercial partner, right? We think of those as commercial partners.
Okay.
Um, and then the government. So we are interacting because this government and state governments and local governments all need digital infrastructure that's constantly upgrading and expanding and growing.
Yeah. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. 'Cause I was definitely like, obviously it wouldn't be me. Like I wouldn't be able to call you and be like, hey, I need I
No,
need this.
yeah, no. They have those other companies are experts in that, and and they have the customer service and all those kind of things, and that which we don't want to have to build.
Right. Yeah, no. Oh my gosh. Customer service. I'm like, that's the worst. Especially like AT&T's customer service. I will never again. So back to your business. What makes your business so unique, and how do you communicate what makes your business stand out against the competition? Or is there even any competition?
There's always competition, even if it's not direct, right?
Okay.
Um, so AT&T or Verizon or Zayo, all are going to be customers. They're also my competitors, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to learn how to work that relationship. How do you manage that relationship accordingly? Um,
Okay.
I don't know if that answers your question.
I think it does. Yeah. Cause like you said, you're not like, it's like you're competing, but you're not. Um, so it's like, I feel like you answered it. I took it as you answered it. Like I understand.
Okay.
I hope the audience does. I'm sure they will. So why do your customers decide to choose you over someone else?
Um, that's a great question because we haven't built it yet, right? So
Hmm.
we it's going to take us 2 years to build our phase one, which is in Virginia. And then it'll take us another 7 years to build the rest of the country. So until it's actually
Oh
built,
wow.
yeah, until it's actually built, we don't get any revenue, right?
Okay.
So, but now we pre-sell everything. So we have commitments now from customers to buy, you know, products or the product. And part of that is we either our new route, uh, it, it's a new pricing, right? So we want to be
Hmm.
very, very competitive. And again, we're selling to someone who's going to resell it or use it directly. So we have to have um, very good commercial terms. So we know
Okay.
that.
And so whenever you guys are like building it, is it like where is it built? Like is it like something that's built underground or is
It
it like
is.
okay.
Yeah. So we're
That's what I
digging.
thought.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
digging. We're boring 6 feet below the ground, and then we'll put in these tubes, ducts, through which we'll put the fiber and other
Okay, so
sensors
so
and
it's
other
like is
things.
that like the things that are like in the ocean that people have to go check on,
Yeah,
or is that something?
that's
Okay,
that's subsea cables is very similar to what we're doing. We're just doing it
okay,
on
cool.
land.
Now I okay, that makes way more sense now. Now I'm like I'm tuned in. Like
Good.
I'm really tuned in. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm like that makes way more sense now. Okay, so this will lead me into your marketing, which of course is something that's vital for every business out there, and often an area that businesses struggle with. So I'm curious, of course, what successful businesses are doing. So, what percentage of your monthly sales is typically invested back into your marketing budget? Or do you guys even have them? Like, do you guys need a marketing budget for that?
So I think it's important to always distinguish between marketing and sales, right? It's not the same.
Hmm.
And so marketing is really function of getting to know your customer, right? Who is a
Right.
customer? And what's a customer look like 10 years out? What's the overall market? What's the value? What's the size? What's the growth? Those are all more ultimately financial data points,
Mm-hmm.
but then also the customers, knowing the customer, that'll feed your sales team, right? So for us, there's a pretty hard line between marketing and sales. I mean, we're a small team
Mm-hmm.
now, so we share everything, but there's a clear distinction because so we know exactly who the customer is. We know their behavior. We can predict for the next 10 years what they're going to do. We know how to sell to
Mm-hmm.
them. We know how to create new products for that. So it's all data driven. On the marketing side, you have to do that initial and then ongoing forever research in who your customer is, how they're changing, what they need, what they want. So you either iterate, adapt, or pivot the product. If you have to do that to the company, you did everything wrong. So you never have to pivot the company. But
Yeah.
you have to change or add products according to your market research or market data.
It's almost like how like phones always update that type of thing, but it's
Something like
like
that.
people doing it. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
It's a product
Cool.
specific thing, marketing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, so, and product or service.
Okay. Well, let me see. Well, I feel like a lot of these ones are kind of just asking you about your marketing. I'm not going to ask you these questions. I'm going to move forward. So, of course, moving from marketing to sales, since we're talking about that, what does your sales process look like?
Well, so since we defined our entire model based on resellers,
Hmm.
it's really finding those
Those,
companies that can then resell the product because they have direct access to the actual end user, whoever that may be, whether it's a consumer or an enterprise, a big business, or another service provider like an ISP, whatever, right? So it's it's still daunting, but it's pretty simplified. We don't have
Yeah.
to. So what that means is we've done this, we're looking to, because we're doing it through resellers, we don't need a lot of staff in-house. So what we focus on is, I think traditionally it's called account management, but
Okay.
it's really customer support. Like they get the sales, the reseller gets the sales, but
Yeah.
we support everything with operation maintenance, any call centers, we do all that
Okay.
on the network side, on the technical side.
Yeah. That makes sense.
And then of course, as part of all of that is building a brand, even though
Mm-hmm.
we're not consumer focused or end user focused. So we do a lot of conferences in this sector um, to get the brand out, and that also
Okay.
will help our our commercial partners, our resellers.
Okay, cool. There's actually I feel like I just interviewed someone, I think it was like last month, and I think he does like these kind of tech conferences. I wish I could remember it because I would be like, do you go to this one? Like now I brought it up, I'm like, dang, I wish I could remember what it was because it's like he said he does like multiple different conferences a year, and it's like a bunch of tech people that come. Some of them are like people who build apps and all of that, but dang, now I can't remember. I'm gonna have to like remember later and email it to you or something.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay, so moving on. So of course you mentioned that you do have a few team members where needed and where possible, and I do feel like it is important to address the topic of building a team. So, how would you describe your leadership style in business, and has it changed over the years at all?
100%. You learn from mistakes, right? So,
Right.
um, early on, I was the guy, um, and that didn't work. I mean, it did work. I mean, we had the exit, but it's harder, right? So, if you want the company to be successful, you need to want to build a team, whether it's for co-founders and then beyond, but it's really the corporate, it's a corporate culture, and that's that team approach, right? So it's all about
Hmm.
being supportive. Um, you solve problems together. If mistakes are made, you solve them and get past them. Nothing should ever be personal. There are instances where that is a thing, but for the most part, it's all about what does a customer need, how do we satisfy the customer, and then how do we grow the
Right.
culture in the company as a team. So it's all very inclusive and
Hmm.
extremely communicative. You don't hide stuff, you don't have alternative kind of, not motives,
Motive.
but yeah, motives or agendas, right?
Mm, yeah.
So open communication is key.
I
And
like that.
empowering, how do you empower either your partners or just anyone a part of the team to be more successful,
I
not just do their job, or not just satisfy the customer, but actually grow and be successful as a person, right?
Yeah, because I was gonna say like some people they get tired of their job because like it's like just draining like, or like there's like nothing to look forward to, I guess. Because I used to have a job like my boss, she started doing these little we would do these little like competitions to win like a little Stanley Cup or something or
Right.
like just something like that. It was kind of fun, but yeah, it just kept you kind of motivated to keep wanting to do your job.
There you
Okay, so what has been your approach to hiring and retaining team members?
go. So we're still doing that. But
Okay.
ultimately, this may just be me, but I, I, I don't do that. I,
Oh, okay.
there are smarter people on the team. Like I don't know, I know finance, I know accounting, but I'm not the
Mm-hmm.
expert. I'm not a subject matter expert. I let my
Yeah.
partner, CFO, do what he needs, and support that.
Okay.
Same on biz dev or marketing sales, same on strategic planning. So you again, you support and help, but I personally didn't go involved. And so you create,
Okay.
but so if you have the right culture in place, you create the environment where you know the kind of people, and the interview process may be team-based, but you
Mm-hmm.
want to know what you're looking for, right? And then you
Mm-hmm.
have to have maybe a 10 to 20% gray area of, where you want, whether it's creativity, it has nothing to do with the job, right? Or the
Mm-hmm.
performance issues. Creativity, passion, dreams. What is that individual, what do they want to be when they get, wherever. Um,
Yeah.
I think all of that's part of that process. It's not just a job, right?
Right.
And it's not just a position.
No. Yeah, especially if you're gonna be there, if you want to be there for a long time, because a lot of people, I'm the person, I want to stay at my job for years. Like,
Right.
I don't want to be someone that just jumps around from a job to job to job, because I just feel like that's not a reliable person, I guess. And at least from my point of view, it just doesn't look like you're reliable. But I guess that's just me. Okay. So I know you said you guys are still building a team. So with that, what areas of training do you believe that your team is going to need in the next 6 months based on your current business climate and where your business is heading?
Um, we're actually in the process of determining that now.
Oh, cool. How big is your team currently?
7.
Okay, cool. So
I
we will jump
apologize.
ahead. Oh
Go
no,
ahead,
you're
keep going.
okay. No, you're totally fine. You don't have to apologize for anything. Okay, so of course, let's look forward to what's to come next. So where do you see your business in the next 3 to 5 years?
Um, well, kind of like where we're still kind of at building, we'll still be building networks. We'll provision Virginia in, like I said, in 2 years, and that'll start operating. Simultaneous while we're doing that, we'll start building in Texas, it's our next state.
Nice.
Um,
Woo.
um, and we'll probably turn on Texas in 3 to 4 years from now. And then we'll start simultaneously other builds in other states, and they'll provision over the course of the next 7 years, kind of a thing. So it's a constant construction process. And
Yeah.
as certain states get built, that we automatically turn the network on, but it takes time.
Oh yeah, I bet. Yeah, especially since you have to like dig underground and then do all of that work. Yeah, I would definitely say that would take a while.
I'm sorry, I have
Um,
a go ahead,
oh
keep
no,
going.
you're fine. I was taking like a little breather. So what has been your approach to goal setting, and how many goals do you set at a time?
Um, Personally or professionally? Is there different?
Um, I'll say professionally.
Okay. So that's ultimately after the startup. So the first goal is just getting the company started, funded, etc. Right? And then
Hmm.
goals from there on out for me is helping the company and or my team members reach their goals. So it's very symbiotic, right? It
Hmm.
can't just be about my goals. And my
Right.
goal, I mean, the ultimate goal is exit. How do you exit? Right? That's the um, ultimate objective. So all the smaller goals you don't do in silos. So it's got to
Mm.
be, and that's part of that culture, right? You got to build the culture so that everyone's aligned. There's an alignment.
Right.
No one person has a goal that's not a part of the company's goal. Personally, yes, and you help them do that as well. But when it comes to the kind of professional goals or corporate goals, they've got to be aligned.
I like that. Okay. So you have a really interesting story, like really interesting. I've never like talked to anyone and have been this interested in it. And as we wrap up, I do have a few rapid fire questions. Are you ready?
Sure.
Awesome. Okay, so what is the key to success for you?
Passion.
I like that. I've been thinking of getting passion tattooed on my leg. So it's like I have this really cool design where like it'll like wrap around my knee. I don't know why I'm telling you this, but anyways, yeah, I like that. Okay. So what is one piece of advice that you would give to other business owners?
Business owners.
Yeah,
I don't, there's no one piece of advice except, stay true to whatever it is you started, um, and support the rest of the organization. Empowerment.
yeah. Okay. And then do you have a book or a podcast that you're currently reading or listening to?
I wish I were. I
No,
just don't
it's
have a lot of
okay.
time at the moment.
It's a busy time of year. I say holidays are
Yeah.
about to start popping up left and right, so I understand.
Yeah, no, unfortunately I don't.
Okay. Well, then this is a really fun question. If you had a bit of magic dust that you could sprinkle on one spot of your business, where would it be?
Um, I don't necessarily believe in things like magic pixie dust, but
No, you're okay.
but um it would be whatever that is, um it wouldn't be deployed. I wouldn't use it for the business. I'd use it for the team members, whatever that means. I don't know what that is.
Yeah,
Again, I don't believe in it, but business doesn't can't grow on pixie dust. Whatever that means, people can. And as long
yeah.
as people grow or solve their problems, the company's going to benefit from that.
I like that. I like how you're always bringing the team back into it. Like you are like a team player.
You can't succeed without
Yeah,
that concept. It's not possible.
no, not at all. All right. So before we get to the final question of the day, would you please share with our audience how they can follow you and learn more about you and contact you?
Um, I don't do social, except for LinkedIn. I think you have my LinkedIn post. You're more than happy to share that. I don't have any other social channels whatsoever.
That's okay. They're too much now. Like there's just too much
Yeah,
going on anyway. So
no
it's good
worries.
to like keep that out of your brain.
But yeah, that's
Alrighty.
shareable.
Awesome. So we've come to the final question of the day, and that is what is inspiring to you today?
Um, on a personal level, I'm in my favorite city in the world, in Boston. So I'm inspired just to be here on the banks of the Charles River. That's one. And two, just what inspires me today is the promise of tomorrow.
Nice. I love that. Well, this was definitely a great conversation. I enjoyed hearing your story. So thank you so much for sharing it with us, Stephen. I just want to encourage all of you that are watching to save this show and come back and watch it again because Stephen really did give some great insights for business. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel so that you can get notifications every time a new conversation drops, just like this one. Thank you, everyone who joined us today, and a special thank you to Stephen for being with us today. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, Jada, and thanks everyone.
Thank you.
Have a
Have a
great
great
day.
day.